Hello, hello, hello. We are back. I'm Jennifer, and this is Dora.
Hello, nice to see you ladies and gentlemen again.
Yes, thanks for joining us. So today we are back. We're here to answer all your questions that have come in at Peel University, as always. And so if you ever have any questions, obviously you can go to peeluniversity.com, post your questions there. You can also reach out to us at support@platinumskincare.com.
Absolutely.
You can call us Monday through Friday, 1-800-917-3155. I want to say that's about it. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We're always here Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Try not to call it super late, though.
Right.
Please get those long calls in before 4 o'clock.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, our first question comes from Sue from Connecticut. She has dry skin. Can TCA be put on brown spots on legs? If so, what strength should be used?
Well, obviously the most important part is what color your skin is. So as long as you're, Fitzpatrick 1, 2, or 3, which is lighter skin tones, you're safe using a TCA 30 generally. Unless you're a little older and your skin is thinner. Obviously, the older you are, the thinner your skin, the darker your skin, the lower we need to go. So I would say TCA 30, unless any of those apply.
Correct.
And then move down in strength, the TCA 20. But I really would like to say, you're talking about brown spots, where my first thing that I would have said, hey, I would suggest Jesner instead. Because Jesner is definitely known to help treat hyperpigmentation.
Absolutely.
This is your key acid. So I would reach for Jesner before I reach for that TCA, in all honesty. And Fade Bright, too. Definitely start putting Fade Bright on. You should have your everyday treatment. You're going to do a peel once a month. Once every 4, maybe even 5 weeks. This is something you're putting on every single day to target that. And think about things like Triple Treat Body Lotion, 25% acid. Those are things you can do all the time.
All right, Bernadette has combination skin, Fitzpatrick of 3 from Florida. She says, hello, beautiful ladies.
Hello.
Can I use the Dream Peel in between my TCA peels? If so, how often? Once a week? ?
Oh, no.
Too strong. Too strong.
Yeah, right. This is a once-a-month product, and a TCA peel is a once-a-month product. So you can either alternate months, or you could put these on at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do our TCA Dream Peel combo, of which we do have a video on, which means, you do your TCA, the last layer, you rinse that off, and then you put your Dream Peel on, one time only, leave it on for 6 to 8 hours, or go to sleep, whatever you want to do, and then rinse that off. And that will help make your peel a little bit more aggressive. So one of those 2 options, but not anything more than that.
Okay, second part for her question says, do I continue with my exfoliation 3 times a week? I am 57 years old, native Floridian, don't want to overdo it.
Well, what are you meaning by continuing with your exfoliation? Is this some simple exfoliation, such as a glycolic cleanser, like a revitalizing cleanser? If so, yes, that's okay. I'm okay using I use the AB cleanser. I use that every single day. But if you're talking about a leave-on acid, do we have a serum 15? I would say no.
Yeah.
You don't want to use a leave-on acid. You don't want to use your Fusion, any retinoids. You don't want to use any leave-on acids while you're healing from a peel. Please wait till your skin is all done flaking, and then as long as everything's feeling good, then you can go back to your normal regimen.
Yeah, I agree.
Then you're all set.
All right, Priya from New Jersey says, can someone walk me through doing my first peel? The Peel University has too much information and is overwhelming.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of information there, and we've actually tried to simplify it, and you really do want to go through step by step by step. You don't want to, it's not like you want to go there and kind of flip through. You really do want to go through the modules,
Yeah.
step 1, step 2, step 3, learn about your skin first, classify your skin, see what your type is, see, understand where you are, and then, start watching the videos so you can kind of understand why you're choosing the acids that you're choosing. Now, you didn't mention what kind of peel you wanted to do, so
Right.
that makes this a little bit harder to tell you.
However, once they do place their order, they will get an email with a video that pertains to the item that you purchased.
Exactly. So, if you purchased a glycolic peel or a lactic peel, you're going to get a video on how to apply that peel. So that's going to make it really easy for you. If you did a TCA peel or a Jesner peel, you're going to get the correct video sent to you.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to our website, go to the video page, and you can look at the videos there. You can look at the Peel 101 video that's going to list out, how do I apply a peel? And that's going to show you right there. So, there are simpler ways. You don't have to learn everything, but
Right, for sure.
sometimes it
A
is
little at a time.
there's a lot of advanced things there, but it's good to learn the basics.
All right, this one comes all the way from Germany, from Gabriella.
Woo.
After a cycle of mandelic peelings with good results, I need guidance on how to proceed on my peeling journey, on which products I should use morning, evening, and how to layer them. I'm a bit hesitant on using stronger peels or a TCA peel as I am 74 years old.
Thinner skin?
Yes, I have not many wrinkles. The most annoying are some vertical lip lines, some laxity issues on the neck that I would like to reduce. My daughter lives in Houston, buys the products for me and brings them to me in Europe, and now she's going to be visiting again in April. Therefore, I would like to order at Platinum Skincare. Do you have any suggestions for me?
Sure. You can start more gentle with the peels.
She is using Retin-A as well, just FYI.
Okay, yeah,
She does
Retin-A.
have robust skin and is using Retin-A only 2 times a week, though.
Okay.
But she has experienced some sudden redness and irritation that began about a month or so ago. So it sounds like maybe that Retin-A maybe is a little too strong.
Well, you can always try something a little bit gentler. So you can do one or two things. Obviously, you can take that Retin-A and you can dilute that with something. Dilute it with a face cream.
Right.
Maybe
Apply it only once a week instead of twice.
once a week. Dilute it with like a nano-hyaluronic, or dilute it with a Dermasnap, something like that. Or dilute it with our Fusion, because what I was going to suggest possibly is maybe using a milder retinoid. Get our Fusion 0.15. Maybe you could use that 3 times a week instead of, 1 or 2 times, because, Retin-A is the straight acid form, and if you get something like our Fusion, this is strong, and you're going to get all the benefits with less irritation than applying the straight acid to your skin. So you can still get all the benefits without all of that. You can even mix those 2 together to dilute it. There's a lot of things you can do. And then, as for a chemical peel, I think you can use a milder TCA, like the TCA 7 is what I was thinking.
I love 7.
That's a great peel to start with. I would suggest highly starting with maybe 3 layers of the TCA 7. You can do that once a month. So that's going to help to stimulate some collagen in the skin, which is, you're 74 years old. Of course, you've lived a good life and you've seen some sun, and your collagen starts to break down. So you need things that are going to start stimulating collagen. So I'm suggesting TCA for sure. I'm suggesting copper. Like I think the GHK, either the Crepey Skin Escape or the 7% GHK, this might actually be a really good one, because you could mix this and Regenerate together, because Regenerate's also really good for the neck area. That 7%, I think something like those would be really super good for that. Take photos, of course. And after, I would say, good, especially with the peel, with Regenerate, with the copper, with this.
She'd be hitting all the bases,
Yeah, 4 to 6 peels. I think you're going to start to see some differences in your photos.
Make sure that you're using everything on your face, neck, and chest as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm trying to target the neck here as well.
Yes.
And you can also do like a couple extra layers on the lip lines, because those are bothering you the most.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Meredith from California, Fitzpatrick 3. I've been doing your peels every 4 to 6 weeks for more than a year now. Thank you, in all capital letters. But I noticed I noticed on my last one that even a TCA 20 at 3 layers on my face, I'm not peeling like I used to. My skin just looks ashy for a few days. I'm left wondering if the acid ages or reduces in efficiency, or do I need to apply 4 layers or go up in strength? I also did 2 nights of Dream Peel after the TCA. Any advice to get a good peel for a homemade pro peeler?
Well, you've obviously been doing it a little while, so, I mean, are your layers wet enough? You know, that plays a really big part. If you're putting really dry layers on, maybe those 3 layers aren't as aggressive as you think they are. You know, if those layers are too dry, it might even be equal to maybe 1 or 2 layers.
Yeah, you want a
if they're
nice
too dry.
Wet layer.
Yeah,
Not
it's
dripping
gotta,
wet, but wet.
Right, yeah. It's got to be wet. You've got to be leaving a wet sheen on your face that's, you know, takes 5-10 seconds or so to dry. So, number 1, try a wetter layer. Number 2, another layer.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, 3 to 5 layers.
And she's only doing
absolutely
3. So yeah, she's can move
You
up.
have plenty of room to move up in layers. There are definitely people that do more layers and even move up in percentages. It's not.
sure.
We're not saying that you can't move up in percentages or up in layers. You could even do more layers than 5 layers. I've tried to stress that. Even though we say 5 layers, go to the next percentage, you can still apply more layers if you have that same acid.
Yes.
And then Dream Peel, it's best that you only do that 1 time afterwards. So try for 1 time. I have one more thought. Let's say you are doing like the perfect wetness that you're supposed to on the 20. You can also do like Jesner first. You know, Jesner kind of like pre-peels the skin. It really preps the skin.
Mix it up a
so you can get an even deeper application of the TCA. So why don't you also try this next time? And I don't have a video per se. There's a video on Jesner plus TCA, and there's a video on TCA plus Dream Peel. You obviously know how to do that one. This is just as easy. Just do like 1 layer of Jesner, then do your TCA, then do your Dream Peel. And I bet you this will really step that up a notch for you. So you've got a couple of options there.
Excellent. All right, this question, I just have the initials, RA from Houston, Fitzpatrick of 4. I want to take swimming lessons for the next few months. Would chemicals in the pool damage my skin, especially post-peel? If so, is there anything I could do to minimize the damage?
Yeah, we get this question a lot. There are a lot of people that do swimming as their exercise of choice, and that's a great exercise. What a good thing to do.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, of course. You know, chlorine isn't great for your skin. It's going to be very, very dry, and it's basically like bleach. You know, so you do need to heavily protect your skin when you're swimming. And if you're doing peels, I mean, it's not great. It's not the greatest thing that you could choose to do, especially let's say you just did a peel and you're like, okay, I want to go swimming. We do have people that do it, so I'm going to tell you what they do. You know, I would say emu oil, and then I would do a nice layer of Aquaphor. Really try to protect your skin against the chlorine.
Before
just to
you
keep
swim,
it up before
correct?
you go swimming.
Got it.
Yep. And then do your swimming, and then when you're done, wash your face real well, and then put your healing products on again. And hopefully, you're not irritated or red from that. And as long as you can get away with that, then you're good. But if you start to get irritated and dry and have like issues, then obviously you can't do it. Stop. But I think if you lube up good enough,
You'll be good.
You'll be all right. There's enough people that do it safely. They're fine. It's just you've just got to protect your skin. Enough protectant. You're good.
All right, so this one comes from Slovenia, from Sasha, Fitzpatrick 3 to 4. I'd like to order multiple bottles of your peels to make the most of the postage cost to my country. Is it possible to estimate how many peels from a 60 ml 2-ounce bottle using 5 layers per peel? Also, Same with the eye peel. How many peel sessions in one 5 ml bottle at the maximum 3 layers per session? How often would you do an eye peel for sagging? That's once a month.
Well, in the back of your manual, it's going to tell you approximately how many peels you'll get from a bottle. So I had to hold this a mile away to read it. So from a 5 ml bottle, you're going to get 3 peels. From a 1 ounce bottle, you're going to get, well, which is our box, you're going to get 16 to 20 1-layer peels. And from the 2 ounce bottle, you're going to get between 32 and 40 1-layer peels. So let's just say, for ease of division, 40 divided by 5, you would get about 6 5-layer peels from a 2 ounce bottle. I think you're going to get more than that personally.
Right.
You know, that's really rounding that up. But
Excellent.
yeah, for sure. And then what was the other question about the eye peel?
The eyes, how often can you do that?
Oh, once a month. Yes, definitely. And then there was nothing
We got her
else
5
about
ml,
that.
we got her 2 ounce. Yep, she's good.
Yeah, everything's there. So yeah, once a month for the eyes, no more than that. And start with about 3 layers of the TCA 7 for the eyes. We have the cute little eye kit here. Get that
Has
one.
everything you need.
Everything you need, including aftercare.
Okay, so Jules has dry skin, Fitzpatrick of 3. She says, how long after a CO2 laser procedure can you start using TCA 13 peel and 7 for the eyes? Wanting to use it for deep layer anti-acne maintenance purposes.
Or anti-aging.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
anti-aging.
Well, CO2, now, and obviously depending on how aggressive they are when you do this, I mean, healing can take a while.
for real.
For sure, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to just wait till you are 100% healed. And
Yes.
obviously, that's not something that we can tell you 100% here. So when that is 100% healed, then you can do a TCA peel.
All right, Olga has dry skin from New York. She says, good afternoon. My name is Olga. I used a Cross Method 30. I had an ice pick scar. I did it 2 times a month ago. I did it the 3rd time. It was 2 months between each procedure. After 2 times, my scar looked better, a little bit. However, after the 3rd time, after a month after the procedure, my scar started to look a bit red.
3 times you did it. It's been a month since the procedure. Okay.
Now she's a little bit red. She said, why? I understand it takes time for the acid to work, but it's been a month and it became red. Should I be worried?
Okay, well, that, when you've done the cross method, that's going to be 100% healed within, 10 days.
Yeah.
Any kind
2
of scab
weeks
you've
max,
got
yeah.
is done off. That
And
is
that's a month
healed and
later.
done within 10 days. So what else have you been doing after that?
2X.
Like, are you using the copper? Right. Are you using the Super Cop 2X? Because we do highly recommend that. But it can cause irritation. So if you're doing what we suggest, which is
Right.
you're taking a little bit, filling it in, wiping it off, when you go to sleep at night, this can cause irritation, which could be red, which is our thought here. I usually say do this about 3 times a week only. So if you're doing this, let's say 6, 7 times a week,
Yeah.
you could potentially be red. Okay, so that's one thought. So now the other thought is, if it was not red after it healed, or was it red after it healed?
No, she's saying a month after the 3rd peel, it started to look more red and irritated.
Well, then there's something else that you're
else she's
using.
Yes.
Acid serum,
Yeah.
retinoid, Retin-A. Have you done any other peels? And then, they got in there, and it's just because it's a little bit more sensitive, newer tissue, because technically you did a 30% peel on that. So anything else that's getting in there, that's a more sensitive
Right.
area.
Yep.
I would just baby that area right now, maybe put a little extra emo oil in there, things like that. Just baby it and don't put any other acids or irritants in there, and it should be just fine. I would wait maybe a little bit extra longer before you do any other cross method. You know, maybe skip a time.
And she was waiting a nice period of time, 2 months, but everybody's skin is different.
Yeah, it's just for something else you're doing, just something else you're doing right now is irritating it, and just,
Okay, so Jeannie from Virginia, light skin, Fitzpatrick 1. I do not have rosacea, but my skin is fair with freckles. I do have some redness. I'm concerned about SD alcohol being the first ingredient in Fade Bright. I do use a moisturizer after serums, but could the high SD alcohol content cause redness or even weakening of the capillaries of my face over time?
Okay, well, so we can have an announcement.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
Drum roll, please.
All right, all of the Fade Bright no longer has the high alcohol content in it.
Yes.
The 4.5 ounce, the 2 ounce, all samples are now the new very, very, very low alcohol content. Water is now the first ingredient. Unfortunately, the packaging has not caught up with that yet.
Right.
Still. It will, but it just still has not caught up with that yet. But yeah, so SD alcohol is not the first ingredient there.
Rest assured.
It is not. Water is the first ingredient, but a great amount of water. So please do not worry about that. Yes, there is still some in there. And why? Because it has to be in there. It has to be in there for the alpha-arbutin to actually dissolve. It must be dissolved in an alcohol solvent. So, sorry, it's a mandatory ingredient in anything with alpha-arbutin. Okay?
What about
there is no getting away from
weakening
it.
capillaries? Is it going to weaken capillaries at all? I wouldn't think so.
I do not think so.
Okay.
I do not think so. If you are the very least bit concerned, but you don't have rosacea, what I would say for capillary, if you are even concerned about your capillaries, I would be adding copper into your regimen because that strengthens the capillary formation. I would do, I always want to say CP serum, but I don't have a CP serum sitting here, but CP serum is the one that Dr. Picard has always said helps to strengthen the capillary formation. Just, 2 to 3 drops every single day will help to strengthen that. You can actually put that on right with your Fade Bright. But no, I wouldn't worry about that. Put it on once a day. That will take away even more of that, so even less concern for you. And I think that will help to address all of those questions. And then go ahead and put your moisturizer on after that, and I think you'll be just fine.
All right. Next question comes from New York. Sheri has dry skin. She also has a Fitzpatrick of 1. I am a senior with hollow under eyes. Would any peel help that since the skin isn't too bad, but it's sunken and one eye has a deep indentation that looks like a hole? Thank you. So I'm thinking maybe
So is this a scar? Like, are we talking about like a scar that can be addressed with like the cross treatment hole?
Could be,
Possibly.
or maybe just an area that is more indented than the others and it kind of sticks out a little bit more. It's hard to say because she doesn't indicate. She doesn't say it's a scar.
Well, I don't know if a peel is necessarily going to, if it is a scar, if it is an indentation like a chickenpox scar or an ice pick scar, then yes, a peel will help that. If it's not like that, if it's just like skin tissue folding over skin tissue or something along those lines, or just, an actual hollow, then no, a peel isn't necessarily going to help that. When you have the hollows under the eyes, you want to get those filled in, and I do not mean with a normal filler. I mean with something like now I forgot the name. Now the name escapes me, where they take the...
Oh, PRP?
PRF.
Yeah. Oh, PRF. That's right, yes.
PRF, where they take your blood and they spin it,
and then they
mix a little thickener in there, and then they inject it under the eye, and it only helps to stimulate your own growth factors, and that helps to put new tissues under there, and that helps to fill in the hollows. We happen to know somebody wonderful locally that does that.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the only thing I would ever recommend anybody putting in, to the hollows under their eyes. Even you don't want to do, the hyaluronic in there and stuff. That all of that just swells even more. And what starts off looking great ends up looking absolutely horrid, months later. So caution with that.
Okay, Anne from Florida has dry skin, Fitzpatrick of 3. I did 2 coats of Jesner on my hands 3 weeks ago. I got a little flaking. My hands look like they should peel, but the skin isn't coming off. Is it time to do another peel with more layers?
Yeah, that's a really mild peel. Okay, 2 coats of Jesner on your hands is really mild, and it's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the body takes generally about 4 weeks. And when I did the hand and body peel video, I was looking at almost 4.5, almost 5 weeks. My hands were still dry. Like, it was almost 5 weeks before that dryness was 100% done. So yeah, you could still have a little bit of dryness and flaking there. But then keep in mind, 2 layers of Jesner, really, really, really mild for the body.
Yeah.
You know,
She can build that up.
you could definitely do way more than that. I mean, I want you to build up slowly, but you can definitely do, I would say next time you could probably do 4 layers.
Yeah.
That's really, really mild. Okay.
All right, so Marty from Michigan, Fitzpatrick of 2. I'd like to know the different products that can be applied right after different peels. I know what the guide says, but I've read in the group some people adding things that can be beneficial and how long to use them, like vitamin C, glycolic peel, or especially other things after a Jesner and TCA.
All right, well, we were talking about, like, there is kind of a magic window after you you do a peel and you take it off. So if you're talking about, you know, special things like, Regenerate or Copper, any of your, like, actives, you can put those on immediately after rinsing your peel, and they're going to penetrate so nicely.
Right.
Now, I don't want to suggest an acid. You don't want to put an acid on. So vitamin C, I don't know that I would suggest that. That's acid.
Right.
Tretinoin acid. You don't want to put things like that on. Serum 15, serum 30. Those are all
Those are strong.
You know, but really nice things, peptides and, you know, growth factors, things like that. Those are really good. If you've done like a Jesner or a TCA, then, I want to say like Fade Bright, that's not a good one. But Jesner and TCA, then you can put things like, you know, the Luminosity or Dream Peel. Those kinds of things are super to put on immediately after your peel. That's where you're going to get that benefit. And once you're past, like why we only do Dream Peel one day, why we only do Luminosity, well, Luminosity we're using to help dry the skin, but why we only do this is for like one day is because after that, the skin is getting tight and it's drying and nothing's penetrating.
You get that kind of layer just, over it. Kind of feels a little plasticky. You can feel it.
And, you can see it. You move your face and it's all like, you know, you look like you're like 50 years older.
You start looking much, much more wrinkled.
Yeah, right. Nothing's penetrating. You're just wasting product. We don't want you to waste your precious product, you know. So put the good stuff aside. Just keep it moisturized and protected. And
Sounds good. All right, so Sonya is from Seattle. She has dry skin, Fitzpatrick 2. I am 54 with very thin sun-damaged skin, and I'm interested in a body peel for texture and brown spots. Will your body peel address these issues? If so, on average, how many peels are recommended to see results, and what TCA percentage do you recommend for legs?
All right. Well, again, if it's
light skin too,
sun damage, I'm always wanting to reach for Jesner, or you could do Jesner and TCA. You could do, I mean, like, just in case you have already purchased your TCA. Yes, you can do TCA. Don't get me wrong. You can do TCA. You have very thin skin. So when we talk about like thin skin or you're only 54. You're young. Just like me, you're young. But, you know, the older you get, the thinner your skin gets, the milder percentages we need to use. So for you, I mean, you might want a 20%, you might even want a 13%. I don't know how thin your skin is. When you're saying thin skin and you're realizing it's thin, I don't know whether I'm telling you to do a 13 or I'm telling you to do a 20. But one of those two, like if I were,
she does want to work on texture too, so I was just thinking maybe even this.
Maybe it's just exceptionally, you know, dry and creepy, you know.
It could be.
Yeah. You're talking about
triple treat lotion.
Triple treat.
Only a couple times a week though.
Even if you don't even want to do a peel,
That's
you
what
could
I'm
just
saying.
do like Fade Bright and Triple Treat.
For sure.
You totally could, and then not even worry about a peel.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of fabulous feedback from the triple treat.
Yes, because that's 25%. That is a very strong lotion.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not even almost an everyday lotion. You want to do this like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, I've had some really positive feedback for the, people who have the KP and things like that on their elbows and
Yes.
things.
Yes,
and-
we have a doctor that is wanting to keep this in his office now for that he's prescribing to his patients.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Okay, next one comes from someone, their name is Nilay from Bakersfield, Fitzpatrick of 4. How can I safely and effectively mix peeling IPLs, they have the Vis IPL, continuous peeling serum such as Serum 30, and microneedling in a schedule? I also have Fade Bright, Regenerate, B-Complex, and Fusion A that I use in my current daily regimen. I want to introduce Serum 30 back and possibly microneedling somewhere.
Well, when you've got all of those, I think the easiest thing to do is to just alternate by month. So with your IPL, it's usually about 2 times per week, I believe they have you doing those treatments.
Right.
So you want to just do 1 month, do your IPL. The next month, do your peel. The next month, do your needling, and then cycle that.
Right.
There is no doing IPL and needling in 1 month, or IPL and needling
your
and
skin
peels
needs
in
time
another
to
month.
heal.
That downtime is important. Downtime isn't. Don't consider downtime just the visible damage healing. Like
Right.
when the flaking's all gone. Oh, now I can do something next. No, that's not
Yeah.
it at all. It's now everything that's going on underneath your skin, all that collagen remodeling and everything that's happening.
That's when the good stuff happens,
That's the important time. That's your downtime. You
Yeah.
need 4 weeks or more for some things. Like I know some needling, they want you to wait even longer.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be 5+
Yeah,
weeks.
depending.
So you don't want to push it, or you're taking a step back. You're stopping the progression you've made. So double check with. Obviously, with the needling, what that one's recommended. I can't speak with that, but for sure with the peels, you want to wait a good month. But of course, did she mention what peel she's doing? Here I am saying that, thinking TCA, but does it
she
even?
did not, no.
No, well, I'm
assuming
assuming
no.
TCA.
Yeah.
But if it's a milder peel, you could still do, let's say 1 peel per week. Let's say you have Mandelic, and you're doing Mandelic, for 1
Right.
month. Move forward. And then obviously, the days you're not doing your things, that's when you're using all your everyday products. That's not a problem. And you wanted to know about you're using Fusion, and you want to bring Serum 30 back.
Yep.
You just want to alternate those. One night use Fusion, next night use Serum 30. Fusion, Serum 30. Fusion, Serum 30. That's how you get both of those in.
All right, so Lauren has combination skin from Austin, Texas, Fitzpatrick of 3. She says, I have a lot of hypopigmentation on my arms, big areas of color differences. On my legs, I have hypopigmented spots. Not sure if I'm using the right vocabulary, but yes,
Yes.
she is. What combination peels can I use, and at what frequency can they be done to set a new baseline of my skin tone? I know the skin of my 20s is gone for good, but I can definitely improve what I have with the right protocols. I have been using a heavy sunscreen and avoid direct sun for years, so this is all damage from years past.
So your skin, if you've been staying out of the sun, your skin is as light as it's going to be, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about setting a new baseline of color, like doing peels, are you anticipating that your skin's going to lighten more? Because I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Like hypopigmentation, obviously, well, technically that skin color is never coming back.
Yeah.
The melanocytes are been destroyed.
Damaged, and once
Yeah.
those are damaged, and
That's that.
melanin is gone, it's gone.
Maybe. There is one possibility
Yes.
that we must talk about, which is copper, where there is the possibility that if you use copper, I would venture to say the biggest bottle is probably the Crepey Skin Escape.
Yeah.
That could probably be the best one, or maybe even the 7% GHK could be added into something.
Very true. Because, yeah, that's a very concentrated
You
formula.
could add this maybe into emo oil.
That'd be a good thought.
Into
Yeah.
like a emo oil bottle.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Because copper helps to, flush out damaged proteins and stimulates the body to make new proteins or tissues. And that is one way to potentially help hypopigmentation. Maybe, maybe not. No guarantees there, but it's the only thing that I can think of that could potentially help.
Right.
Other than that,
Yeah.
yes, you can do peels. And since this has been a long time, obviously, and the hypopigmentation, you can do a peel. If it was brand new hypopigmentation, I would say don't do anything to
Right.
it because there's always the potential it could like fix itself.
Right.
And you always want to be real gentle. But if it's been like years and years, like you're saying here, then go ahead and do your peels. Then maybe you can lighten the rest of your skin and make it match that as much as possible. Fade Bright could potentially help the rest of your skin to lighten.
Turn that melanin down
You know,
a bit.
any of the sun, and I don't mean lighten because nothing's a skin bleach, but, you know, if you do have, you know, dark freckling or sun damage spots, things like that, those kinds of things, the peel, Fade Bright, those can help to lighten it, make it a little less obvious.
All right. Amanda from Connecticut has normal skin, Fitzpatrick 2. What products/peels are recommended for surgical scars? How long should I wait to treat them post-surgery?
Well, the two best that we have always talked about are like emo oil and copper. So as soon as the surgical site is healed, closed, like basically when they go and take the sutures out, then you're pretty well good to start putting products on. Emo oil is excellent
Oh, gosh, yeah.
for healing. It's also, you know, an anti-inflammatory. And then you can also start to put your coppers on at that point, too. You can either use, like, the CP serum. Supercop 2, actually, I just happen to have some here. This would probably be a little stingy. But the CP serum
Yes.
would be a really good one. Even just mix it with the emo oil and put it on. Obviously, if it's like a raised scar, you're concerned about that, you still want to use, like, silicone gels. But you can put you know, the copper on first and your silicone gels on top of copper, if you're worried about that.
That's a good thought, yeah. Awesome. All right, so Kim from Los Angeles has dark skin, Fitzpatrick 5. Preparing for my first TCA 13 peel on my second week of hydroquinone, do you recommend 2-ounce bottle or small bottles to start?
I generally, if you're just doing your face, I recommend this.
Yeah.
Because each one of these, there's 6 bottles in here. And most people are going to do, you know, 1 or 2 layers their first peel. You know, that's not even one whole bottle.
Right.
And then you're only doing 1 peel a month, you know, so you're talking that you've got like 6 months worth of peels in here.
Yes, yeah.
For most people. Most people aren't
Maybe
doing
longer,
more
maybe
than
1
3
year.
layers.
You
Yeah,
could
most
have a year,
people are not
yeah.
doing more than 3 layers
yeah,
in here.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
might
yeah.
wait more than a month.
For
You know,
sure.
once you get a few of them under your belt, you're like, I'm good, I'll wait 6
Yeah,
weeks for
yeah.
this one. I'll wait 8 weeks. I would get this. I would get the 1 ounce box. If the only time I would suggest the 2 ounce usually is when people are like, oh, I also want to do my arms.
Yeah.
Or I'm also going to do this body part and stuff.
Right.
Then I'm like, oh, well, get the 2 ounce then because you need more solution.
All right, Abigail from California says, what do you suggest for tightening and firming the neck? And how frequent? So I'm thinking, maybe is she thinking peels?
Well, yeah, definitely peels. And obviously, okay, so the neck and décolleté are actually thinner than your face. Okay, the skin is thin. The only thinner skin on your entire body is your eyes. So I normally suggest something like TCA 7
Yeah.
or maybe TCA 13 if you're doing your face as well.
But maybe just 1 layer on the neck, and if you're doing 2 on the face, just be lighter handed on the neck.
Lighter handed, absolutely. Fusion A, of course, your retinoids. I like Regenerate for the neck.
All of your products, make sure you're putting them all, face, neck, chest, anything left, tap the hands.
Right?
Yeah,
I do the same thing. I do because I mix everything together. So it's like I'm like gooping it all over here, and then I've always got more, and I'm like always going up.
Yes,
Of
I'm
course.
I'm a mixer myself. It's just easier.
It is.
Pump of this, a drop of
And
this.
there's always a pump of nano, and nano spreads so far. I've always got
Nice.
so much to work with.
Perfect. Okay, so Jessica has combination skin, Fitzpatrick of 6. What is a go-to for cystic acne and rosacea?
like everyday treatments?
She doesn't indicate that.
Well, I'm going to say regenerate, number one. We've
Yes.
already discussed, well, we haven't discussed it today, but
Yes.
this is your product for cystic acne.
It really does
Right
help.
here. Like, this doesn't hurt. This isn't irritating. This is good for anybody's skin because it is healing and calming, soothing. So this is actually would be perfect for rosacea. This isn't going to harm anybody. And this is going to heal cystic acne. Like, just dab it on a couple times a day.
As soon as you feel it coming on. Like, you know how if you get a painful, as soon as you feel that coming on, start using that.
Next-
a couple of times a day. And then sometimes it will just subside and go away.
Just go away.
But when you add it to your daily regimen, it really does help
keeps
combat
it from coming.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I
Yes.
have suffered from cystic acne in the chin area for years, and
Yep.
this has been amazing. Since we have had this, I swear by it, and I tell everybody
very
about
good.
it.
And then just something else for rosacea, number one, and acne too. B complex.
Yeah.
B complex is also another very calming, healing product. I just want to mention our entire acne thing because this is, here is our whole acne. This is what you should be using every day to control your acne. And it's fine if you have rosacea. I would just be cautious with the retinoid. I would use this a little bit less, maybe 2 times a week, But wash with AB cleanser, B complex, and regenerate twice a day. And I would use your retinoid maybe twice a week. And, this is going to help control that.
All right.
Ta-da.
So Kathy says, I don't know what Fitzpatrick I am. I was wondering if I can get rid of the white spots on my arms and legs. She's 57 years young. So she has some hypopigmentation.
All right. Well, the hypopigmentation, like the best things that we could think of, obviously, it's either there forever or the best shot we have at treating it is the copper.
Yes.
So try some of the crepey Skin Escape on the body because copper helps the skin, forces the skin to regenerate itself if there are damaged tissues. That's what it does. It flushes out damaged tissues and forces the body to regenerate new ones. And because they're not functioning properly,
Right.
the melanocytes aren't working properly, we're hoping that it's going to figure that out and get rid of some of those and get some new functioning tissues in there. So I would definitely try that.
All right. I think this was our last question.
Ooh.
All right. So Robin has dry skin from Pennsylvania, Fitzpatrick of 3. She says, I am 50 years old with very dry, sensitive skin. I tend to turn red quite easily when just washing my face with mild cleansers. I always have a layer of extremely fine flakiness on the surface of my face that I cannot get rid of. I've tried lactic, mandelic, glycolic acid peels. I've also tried dermaplaning occasionally. Nothing seems to remove this fine layer of dry skin from the surface of my face. It always looks dry and dull and never has that fresh glow. I'm desperate to gain back that healthy look I used to have. Nothing seems to work. Which peel or series of peels would you recommend for the most gentle but best results? What other products would you recommend using as part of my daily regimen to help as well?
I was just thinking, what about like a TCA peel, like a TCA 7?
Yeah, something
Because
light.
you're using these mild peels, maybe they're just not quite strong enough. TCA 7, maybe 2 to 3 layers. It's okay sensitive skin, that's okay.
Right.
TCA 7, I did TCA 7 on my daughter and she survived.
Right.
And she has very sensitive
Right.
skin.
And I have sensitive skin. I love the TCA 7. I'll do multiple layers
It's
of that.
not that
followed
bad.
by the Dream Peel. It's great.
No, I did 2 or 3 layers. I did 2 layers. We were just doing like the bottom half of her face. Okay, acne.
Yeah.
Doing the bottom half. And I think I did full 2 layers and then just we're spot treating with the third. And by the third layer, it was like, okay, enough, right? So 2 layers for sure is going to be no problem on the rest of your face. Even 1 to 2 layer, it doesn't matter. You'll get more skin off though than any of these other peels.
For sure.
Have done. So I think that is a good option for you. And then, you can always I mean, you've already tried the other, so I think
She has
that's
dry,
a thing.
sensitive skin, so
Fusion, the
Fusion, probably
0.15,
yep.
use that a few times a week. And, mix it with something. You have dry skin. You don't have to use it full strength.
Right.
Why don't you
Mix
mix
it.
it with like the Nano Hyaluronic? That'll give you more moisturizing. It'll dilute it a little bit. Get the 0.15, mix it with Nano, put that on like 2-3 times a week at night to get a little bit more, get your skin turning over. Like you need something to make your skin turn over. This like speeds up the turnover of your skin. So I think, a retinoid is uber important.
what about like enzyme mask?
That's another one.
That could be something she could include in her regimen, maybe
Yes.
once a week.
Yep.
And, I like to put mine on before I go into the shower because the steam keeps it active a little longer.
Yep.
And, your skin feels amazing after you take that off. So.
Yeah, and just bring a washcloth in with you, I think, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's like real kind of like slippery. If you don't have a mirror in the shower, it would
Exactly.
be like hard to get off.
Exactly.
But if you had a washcloth, it would be like fine.
For sure. And then,
Yep.
so
Use
that
your
may be
Nano.
something.
Oh, and then we're like for the dry skin, we're talking about like Nano and Emo oil. This is like super to mix these two together and put them
Yeah.
on to help hydrate you during the day. And always put your products on moist skin. So get a little bit more exfoliation with the retinoid. I think that's key. You go ahead and try an enzyme mask. Up your peels with the TCA7, and then get a little bit more hydration during the day with the Nano and the Emo. All right.
I think
Do we
that
have
is
any
it.
other?
I don't-
We don't have a question.
I don't
Oh
see it.
my gosh, no live questions. Well, that's
I think
all right.
That's a first.
I think it is a first. They're probably like, we don't even see it in the group. That's all right.
Could be.
Well, hey, that is it then. We have wrapped this puppy up.
Yes, we're good.
So we are going to say thanks for joining us today.
We'll be back in a few weeks.
And we will see you in a few weeks when I am back from vacation. And if you have further questions, go ahead on over to peeluniversity.com, click the submit a question button, and we will answer your question next time we're back. It's been a pleasure. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.